York, new rock, live music and promotion.
New York, New Rock. I'm Sharon Lee Caddick. We're here with Cathrene Wheel.
Thank you.
And your name is?
I'm Dave.
I'm Neil.
I'm Brian. I have my own microphone, you don't need to.
How you doing, guys?
We're fine.
Hello out there.
Hungover?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, out late last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing the sights.
Yeah.
What do you have to do?
They went to the vault, guys. Can you imagine that? Dirty little boys.
It's healthy, all that stuff's healthy.
Well, we've got a job there when the band finishes.
Yeah.
So, you're out here with your third album, Happy Days, right? And do you think it's much different than the first two albums that you've had, or what's going on with this album here?
Is it different? Yes, it's completely different. But it's different in the right way. It's a progression from the first two. You know, I mean, it's pointless standing still. We tour so much. 6 months of touring, we're in a completely different place to where we started from after we'd finished recording an album. So, you know, it's inevitable you're going to move on. I would say it's probably the first real Cathrene Wheel record that me personally that I'm happy with every aspect of it, really. I think Ferment and Chrome, our previous two, were like stepping stones on the way here. We've arrived, man.
Yeah, you guys agree with this?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, we tour so much that, you know, you definitely evolve when you play so many gigs. You know, if you care about what you do, then you definitely move on, and it's a good process to go through, because we don't have to sit and scratch our chins at the end of touring and wonder what we're going to come up with. So it's quite good. Natural evolution.
And we just want to make as much money as possible, so we're trying to write a record that sells the most. So, you know, it's only natural.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was very interesting on this album how you've managed to put so many different styles on one album and actually make it a whole picture. It flows nice. There's a lot of different styles, something to please everybody, yet you keep a distinctive sound that's your own.
We treated it as though it was going to be our last record. The rule book on how to write an album went out the window, and we just had on the record just songs we liked and recorded regardless of what they sounded like. You know, if the same four individuals record Got Inside My Head or Shocking, it's going to sound like it's from the same band, especially if we've been together as long as we have, 4 long years.
It's into our fifth now.
Fifth, 5 years.
4? You think that's long? That's
Well,
like...
I mean, we were only going to do it for like a year just to see what happened.
It was only a laugh. It's all got far too serious.
Yeah.
They look like that disappoints you a little bit over there.
Well, you know, we had lives before we started this, and
No, we don't.
No life?
well, they tell us they're still there, but you know, we don't go home much.
Well, you just mentioned that you said you treated it like it was going to be your last album. What do you mean by that? You had planned to stop?
No, it was purely to please ourselves. We didn't care about anybody else.
I see.
So it was purely a thing for ourselves.
We made the album for an audience, and the audience was us.
Well, I think that's a good way to be, because if you're happy with it, then the people will know they can feel it.
Yeah,
and then I think it'll be more genuine. That's what I was just going to say.
We had quite a lot of songs to choose from to put on the record, and we got fairly ruthless and just, you know, picked the best ones out of the lot, regardless of really, you know, where they fitted in anybody else's mind or category, or you know, I don't think it's possible to pigeonhole, you know, what sort of band we are. So
some people would say that's a bad thing. You know, I think there's too many people around that target an audience, and there's like 15 songs on their album that all sound like they're in this narrow gully of sound. And
they need to feel safe. They need to be able to label it.
Maybe that's how you sell records. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who
I think
knows?
it's more creative when you do something like you've done. Like I
Sure.
said, different styles and you know, but still keeping your sound. Personally, my favorites were Eat the Dust and Heal. Eat the Dust was very, very eerie, kind of weepy and ghosty and very dramatic.
Full title: Eat My Dust, You Insensitive Fuck.
Yeah. Sorry, left off the end. What's the end part?
it's called Eat My Dust, You Insensitive Fuck.
See, women shouldn't swear, so.
Makes a great T-shirt because it's got a swear word on it.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
sell
only
lots of
reason.
those.
You know.
Yeah.
It's all money in the end.
Heel, I thought Heel was a genuine love song if I ever...
Oh, most definitely. I every single night when Rob sings that end part, I always get a little bit of a tingle up my spine.
We make quite a few people cry as well, don't we?
Yeah, we make people cry as well, which is nice.
Is that what happened at the vault last night? No.
Yeah, there was some weeping orifice at the vault last night.
So now, who writes the lyrics and who writes the music, or how do you guys work together?
Well,
I write everything.
it's a
You get all the royalties.
No, I don't.
It's a collaboration at the end of the day. Rob writes all the lyrics. He has to sing them and throw them across. So he's responsible for the lyrics. And Rob and Brian are usually the idea men. And anybody else is willing. You know, if anybody's got any ideas, then we'll throw it into the hat. So
Rob can't be here because he's got canker of the ear.
oh
at the
yeah,
moment.
yeah. We should say that. Poor old boy. His ears are all welded up.
Are we going to be able to tell that tonight, or is
Maybe.
So
I think so though. He's a consummate professional.
he'll wear a hat, right? And how about the artwork on the album? It was pretty interesting. Talk about the art.
That's responsibility of Storm Thorkson, the artwork, who did a lot of the Pink Floyd stuff with Hypnosis. He just
He did our Chrome album as well. He tends to, as we in the end, he told us what the record was about almost. So, you know, he's quite an authority on what we should be thinking.
It's really great though, because he doesn't present his ideas really until the last moment. So everybody, you know, gets a big kick out of the art. He's bananas.
How'd you guys hook up with him?
I think I'm managing you, basically, because he's a big Pink Floyd fan, and as simple as that.
He really got into the band, and he only works with people he gets into, and he actually doesn't do much artwork anymore at all. He's into films. He's making films. But that crib on the front is actually the size of a London double-decker bus.
Really?
Yeah, he had that built, and it was shot in Cambridge in the middle of winter. I think that day was one of maybe 2 days that month that had some sunlight in the morning. The poor photographer had to sleep outside with the thing to protect it.
I think the shot in front of the tree with the bear, that's really nice. It was a really nice shot. So I read somewhere in some article or something about how it says this album of yours, Happy Days, is a departure from the Nevermind era.
Right.
Do you have any? What do you think that means? Yeah, Nevermind.
What do you mean, the Nirvana, the grunge era?
I was trying to figure exactly what they were trying to say meant that by that.
Sure maybe that's what they mean, but we were, you know, we're hardly from Seattle, so I don't think we ever arrived at the Nevermind era, let alone depart from it.
And what is the Nevermind era? That just means degradation and sorrow and our life is over and everything is miserable.
Maybe they're referring to apathy.
Maybe it's the era when nobody ever minds.
Well, being from England, you have a different take on things, I would imagine, right? I mean,
well, it's just a little. I wouldn't, you know. I don't know if we'd like to say that we're better than everybody else, but yeah, we are.
if it's true, say it. Who are some of your influences as you were growing up that you think helped molded you to this point?
I grew up with the punk stuff in the late 70s. So, but saying that, I love Neil Young, Leonard Cohen.
I think bands like Queen, maybe Led Zeppelin, that sort of thing, and I'm a bit of a jazz fan as well. But
You think you get,
good songs, I think, are the
can
thing.
you bring it? Do you have a
Tunes.
chance to bring it out? I mean, you
Not
feel
really.
it?
I bring it out in privacy.
Oh, you got your one. right?
Partridge Family, John Denver, the kind of softer side of life I'm into.
Really?
I don't know. You know, there's so many bloody. Who knows?
Super
It's intangible. I think how you can pin your influences onto your music. I don't think it's a con to even try and do it.
We're not really. I wouldn't say we are influenced by anybody in particular. Just maybe what you've grown up with has shaped you in some way, just like your childhood does as an adult. But other than that, there's not really any bands that we're heavily into. In fact, we don't really listen to a lot of other bands really. Mostly older music.
You start to hate music when you do this.
I'm doing this.
Musical Nazi.
I hate my life.
Oh, now you're sounding like the Nevermind band. The Nevermind. All right, let's see. How come you guys, you shock everybody when here you are with this Cathrene Wheel and there's no Cathrine? What happened?
It confuses people, doesn't it? It's like, where's the girl?
Well, we came up with that name in England where it actually means a spinning firework. And the last thing.
What does it mean?
A spinning firework. It's a round thing. You know, it's with shh. And it was also a medieval torture instrument. So there was no idea that anyone would think it was a girl's name. But as soon as inevitably you leave the shores of England, it's...
Well, the CDs are filed under W over here.
Yeah.
We try and put a "the" in front of it.
If you put "the" in front of it, it makes more sense, doesn't it?
A number of times we've got off a plane into an airport and there's a guy holding up Miss C. Wheel or something,
Really?
Where's Cathrine?
There's no girl in the band.
And it's really quite disappointing for a lot of the men, I think, right?
What earth is this from?
What?
When earth is this from?
Yeah, there you go.
When we fucking photographed.
Wow.
I missed you guys for the last God knows how long.
That's a great photo. Oh, sorry. Look at that.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Neil's got different colour hair.
Yeah.
Superb. What's that picture all about?
That's great.
It's our friend here.
Bob.
Introduce yourself, Bob.
Hi,
Hello,
Bob.
Bird.
Bob took this photograph of us the last time we were in New York.
While back.
Yeah,
And then I
while
missed
back.
you. I was in
Good
LA
though,
when
huh?
you were here in New York, and then I was in
That's
Phoenix
good,
when you were
it's
going to be
nice.
in Phoenix
I
about
remember.
2 weeks later.
Yeah.
You played Gibson's, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
That was great.
It was cool. Good.
It's all right.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You can cut it out. We're cutting it out.
I'd like one of them.
Yeah, well, that's why I haven't been able to hook up with you.
Great.
We'll speak to you in a minute, Bob.
When we
We'll
had
get on
that
with this
beer,
and then
yeah.
And back to, that was our commercial. Our commercial break. We had to power up our batteries. So, guys, let's see. You've been out on the road for how long now?
Oh, since the end of May, 1990.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. You have no life. I forgot.
There's no underwear left either.
How about socks?
Oh yeah, I got some socks.
All right, all right.
Turn them inside out.
So what's it doing to you? I mean, like...
Makes you sad some of the time.
Yeah.
He's only
I
16.
like this
Yeah.
one. He's fun.
He's only 16. Look what it's done to him.
Yeah, it's giving him worry lines.
What does it do to you? It does a number of things to you. It makes you feel like you're a child sometimes because everything is kind of decided for you. It also makes you feel very good when you play, but mostly it makes you feel quite boring during the day.
You start to lose your grip on the outside world because it's such an unreal life, and you wonder inevitably when all this comes to an end 15 years from now what the fuck are you gonna do, you know?
Well, you're supposed to save all your money and
You-
buy all those
well, yeah.
houses and cars.
You just
and-
become a rock cripple, I suppose.
Yeah, it's right.
But it's great, you know. I always wanted to do this.
Yeah.
I can't remember why now.
Roll on the next 5 years.
It's a very curious thing to do, be in a band, because when you're young and you want to do it, you think it's the end of the world, you know. You got to do it, and then once you get there, it's like everything that is completely trivial to you is the most important thing.
And you realise that it is work. And all your illusions, one by one, get blown away, and you're just left with the reality and the hard fucking work. But it's a great life.
Aw.
You get to see the world, though. It's like being in the army.
It's like sounds like we're moaning, but we're not. We wouldn't moan.
We just need to go home for a bit. 2 or 3 days, we'll be all right then.
So you don't have any breaks coming up? I mean, how long is this like
There's
going
a few.
for?
We have 2 days off before we go. We finish here September 5th, and we have 2 days off before we go to Europe.
Oh.
And then we get a week off at the start of
whole
October.
week.
and then we come back here until pretty much the end of the year.
Wow. Well, so looking back on the 4 years of your tour, what is one of the most hideous things that you can remember that has happened to you?
Oh man,
I mean,
there's quite a few actually, but I think leaving the States, where were we, in New Orleans, and we had to fly back to England to do Glastonbury Festival. The aeroplane's got a bit messed up in transportation as it is, you know. We got to Glastonbury to play 8 minutes and then had to get on a plane and fly back to America.
8 minutes of completely undecipherable noise because we had the wrong amps and everything.
It was an absolute nightmare.
Playing to 5,000 open, confused mouths.
oh, that must have been very bad.
It was very bad.
It was the worst thing.
Did you feel like,
We've ever done.
yeah? Well, how about, what was something really good that you can remember that's happened to you out there? Really good thing.
Being on the bus. Tour bus going down the road is like an enormous penis, and you can look out of the window and amazing the number of women that will just lift their shirts up and show you their chests
Tattoos.
for no reason, just because you're on a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite funny.
Does that happen in England, or is that only, it's only in America,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Figures.
Playing sold out shows is a high though. I mean that's a plus thing.
I think the first time we ever came to LA was quite sort of like jaw-dropping because the show had sold out of the whiskey in hours, and suddenly there's all these people, you know, saying, you know, outside the bus or just camped outside the venue, kind of, ooh, you know, it's like, well, hang on, we've never been to America, and we didn't even think we were going to get here in the first place, so that was quite a buzz.
Not a lot really, when it comes down to it.
Yeah. So you're already working on your new album? I mean, do you constantly write songs, or you're just like...
No, we just have time at the end of touring
Yeah.
where we do it.
Yeah. So what do you do? Go in the studio and write when you're in the studio, or you just sit down for like a few days?
A little rehearsal room, and then maybe go and put them on tape and then sift through them. Yeah, don't really demo, we just, you know...
We take 2 weeks off to get the ideas together and then just rehearse it. We need to tour to actually, we need 6 months of solid touring to sort of develop the idea for another record, so it's pointless writing on the road. We need to soak up the experience for another album, you know, or however we do it, I'm not really sure.
It just seems to happen.
Maybe we won't have another record in this, I don't know, we'll have to see.
Right.
We'll have to see.
Controversy.
Controversy.
Even.
So what's going to happen here tonight at Irving Plaza in New York City?
We're gonna rock.
There's going to be gnashing of teeth and saliva and urine and everything.
Wailing.
And lots of spanking.
Well, there you have it. Cathrene Wheel, New York, New Rock, New York City. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
New York, New Rock, live music and promotion.
Believe
New York, new rock, live music and promotion.